Hey guys, we actually have a bit of a bullish article. Perhaps? Maybe. We know that this writer from the Investor Place has a bullish title. He says the case for GameStop hitting $1,000 this year. This year alone. So, what exactly could this writer be? Let's have the caveat here with that he is originally having a short position on it. So that was on the disclaimer in the very bottom of the article. Probably would have been better to have that in the front of the article. That's why I'm telling you now. But if you guys wouldn't mind walking through this mainstream media article with me to just understand how bad the damage is, if this is actually spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And finally, help me smash that like button so we can defeat that evil YouTube algorithm together. Let's read this right now. Chris McDonald. GameStop's violent swings in recent days have caused many investors to wonder, what the heck is going on with GameStop? Well, indeed, I believe GameStop's recent moves represent a truly historic moment in investing history. The investing world has changed and we're witnessing history. Retail investors have found new power and are buying the stocks they love best. In doing so, those with diamond hands are making a killing. Here's why I think GameStop could indeed hit $1,000 per share soon. And I misread this. I thought it was son. Here's why I think GameStop could indeed hit $1,000 per share, son. So let's assume that he did actually say that. GME stock, meme status really means something these days. The rise of meme stocks is something I think hit Wall Street by surprise. Indeed, GameStop's surge is going to be taught in business school classrooms for decades. We've been saying this since the beginning. This is true history. You're going to tell people, can you imagine talking to your grandfather or maybe your great-grandfather and they were like, back in the Great Depression or back in World War II, yeah, they didn't even know that that was going to be like super history. But GameStop, you guys are, I'm telling you now, you're living through super history. People are going to be talking about this forever. Thank you, Robert Becker, for pressing that join button and upgrading to the Moon Platoon. Supports the show. I appreciate it. I remember hearing professors ramble about short squeezes, thinking this is all theoretical and so rare it's not applicable. Boy, how the time has changed. GME stock has surged as retail investor momentum has pushed short sellers to cover their bets. A high short percentage combined with a flurry of retail investors buying in tandem did indeed appear to lead to a short squeeze in late January. Some believe there's another elusive squeeze out there on the horizon. GME's moves in recent days pay tribute to this. Thus, there's those who are calling for GME stock price well in excess of $1,000 per share. I think this is going to be catering to the most out of touch, the most confused members of this story, which is perfectly fine, right? Getting the mainstream media to kind of lower the bar is the point. So that's what we're working with here. Hold on a sec. What? There's a different kind of attack going on right now. It's even weirder. Hold on. There's a key risk here. GameStop could issue shares, a lot of shares. Here's the FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt. Here we got it. There's been a bunch of speculation as to why GameStop hasn't issued shares thus far. Indeed, the recent spikes in the past few months seems to have provided great opportunities to do so. However, it appears there's now an indication that there indeed could be something coming on the horizon. Here's an excerpt directly from the company's 10K. We've talked about this a ton. Let's see if the most important pieces in here. Since January 2021, we've been evaluating whether to increase the size of the ATM program and whether to potentially sell shares of our Class A common stock under the increased ATM program during the course of the fiscal 2021, primarily to fund the acceleration of our future transformation initiatives and general working capital needs. The timing and amount of sales under the ATM program would depend on, among other factors, our capital needs and alternative sources and costs of capital available to us, market perceptions about us, and then current trading price of our Class A common stock. In other words, the company's not ruling out an equity issuance or two down the road. This shouldn't surprise anyone. Indeed, a stock that goes from roughly $4 per share to nearly $200 per share at the time of writing, right? They forgot the other part where they went up to $500 a share, provides a great opportunity to raise some money. Any company's management team has a duty to maximize shareholder value. Accordingly, an unwritten rule is to issue shares when a company's share price is overvalued. Vice versa, buying back undervalued shares is a great idea. Okay. So in that sense, this is FUD. This is fear, uncertainty, doubt. We haven't really covered any of this recently, especially since we've also dove through the 10K a ton. So this is as hypothetical as perceptive as the story of, in the case of a short squeeze, blah, blah, blah happens. And that was enough evidence that a short squeeze hasn't yet happened. So this is the same type of interpretive DD that isn't really based around data. It's just based around like a paragraph in the 10K that could be interpreted in many different ways. In this case, they're still scratching their head as to why the company hasn't acted thus far. Maybe the company's management team is in for a much bigger squeeze. Certainly, a lack of the equity offerings has given this stock the fuel many believe it needs to hit $1,000 per share this year. What? Conclusion? Okay, so this is FUD after all. What is going on here? Those on Wall Street bets chasing after the tendies and holding on with diamond hands may well be rewarded in GME stock valued at $1,000 or much more. Perhaps such a move will happen in short order. Anything's possible these days. Retail investors have found that when synchronized, their individual purchases add up to market swinging moves. My hat's off to those who are holding on with diamond hands. I personally think that the fact that investing has gone mainstream and young investors are discussing investing on social media is a great thing. If anything, this should be encouraged. Okay, this is nothing about, what kind of conclusion is this? This is, if I wrote an essay and I started talking about something entirely different and I'm like, I think it's great that young investors are getting into it. Come on, if you wrote this article, come on the show and defend this, because this is absolutely, I can't believe this is on Investor Place right now. That said, I'm short GameStop right now via various long-dated put options. While acknowledging that this stock can indeed go up to $1,000 short order, I also believe GME has completely detached from its fundamentals. It's going to drop down to earth. I have no idea when, but it will. Those moonshot bets have paid off, and my advice to those with diamond hands is to take a little off the table. Don't leave empty-handed. Wow, just telling people straight up to sell. The reason I'm short, I'm not crazy. The stock has insane momentum, and my puts cap my maximum loss at 100%. I'm okay with that. Holy moly. So, maximum FUD hidden in a clickbait title. This is the most clickbaitiest title with absolutely nothing about why it's going to go up to $1,000. Look, this part of the article is not about going up to $1,000. This part of the article is not about going up to $1,000. None of this article is about the title. All of it is FUD, and that is what surprises me. Amazing. They know that people who are long this stock right now are going to read it, and then they're going to read this essay written by someone with an MBA in finance, and they're going to be like, where's the case? Because all I see here is a summary of what happened in January, if you can even call it that, absolutely no technical analysis, absolutely no momentum analysis, no data, and then being like, you could issue more shares because of something in the 10K that they dredged up as a hypothetical. Well, I expect better of you, especially since we covered the fact that he is short on the position, so he has a vested interest to provide this FUD. If you have any more mainstream FUD, send it my way for some DD, some due destruction if the case for the due diligence is not good enough. And as always, if you guys like this video and want to hear more about what I think is the news coming out of the woodwork, go ahead and send it to me to Andrew Mo Money. I am on that on Twitter and on Instagram. And most importantly, like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel if you want to start on your own financial journey, as so many of you have, according to Chris McDonald. Nothing on you, my friend, but this I would not pass if I was an English teacher, about just the construction of a title that does not get supported at any point in the article, and then a conclusion that goes off on a ramble that doesn't actually even conclude anything. And for now, but not for forever, peace.